What's with the umbrellas, lads? Men from Granard and yous. Hey folks, welcome back. It's episode number...
Four, five. I think it's 4.
Lost in translation.
Well, what round of matches are next? Is it round 5,
yeah.
right? And we did a preview, so
Yeah.
that means episode...
5.
No.
6, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
Oh, no, 5. You're right. Because
five,
yeah. Look, sorry about that, folks. It's just homework is not being completed as per usual. Welcome to the podcast. 5th round coming up. We'll have a little review of the 4th round matches and a preview of the 5th round matches. It's getting a bit cold out, boys, even though you are still in your shorts, sleeves, etc.
Yeah, but you told us we're going to be inside in this lovely surrounding, so I says,
Yeah,
I'll go,
so
you
we're
know.
here, folks, at Nally's Hyundai Garage. A lovely setting, nice table and chairs, just like a TV studio, already built for us. And, of course, we're joined with Jimmy Jest, or by Jimmy Jest, comedian at large and a bear assessor, and acting editor of the Longford Leader, and before that, just the sports editor of the Longford Leader, Podge O'Brien. Podge, you're under pressure, I believe, lately.
No, the editor is grand. Alan just the action at the moment. I'd like to wish him well. He's still working away now. He came back over the weekend. He's a great man for the social media. And he keeps everybody up to date as to what's happening. So best of luck, Alan, and hope to see you out and about.
Very good.
I had to defer my holidays, unfortunately, Mick, but you're not seeing her today. I wasn't
I'm
going.
sure. Look at you know what they say. As Churchill once said, "Never have so few done so much for so many." So your loss of a holiday. Think of all those joyous readers of the Longford Leader who'll be there delighted to be still getting their piece of infos. All down to you, Podgy.
Especially Mick for your program here, I couldn't miss that. It's a total fix every week, isn't it?
That's great. I want to congratulate you on finishing the ultra marathon on Sunday. What an achievement. Well done.
Now, can I ask,
Really
Tough, but
what is an ultra marathon?
It's a marathon and a half.
And how do you do it? Walk it,
You
run it,
can't
or
run it,
get a
run
lift?
it. 4.5 hours you did it. 4.5 hours.
Did you run it?
Oh, did he what?
You're not serious.
What? As Churchill once said, a man who doesn't run a marathon and a half runs nothing.
And tell us, Podgy, were you crooked afterwards, or were you stuck in the
Crooked
bath?
before he started.
I didn't know what band there was in, to be honest with you. But you make these sacrifices in life, Mick.
Well, look,
Now, Podgy, I know as you're coming in, and is there any chance you might upgrade the car? Because the car barely got in. Whatever about you, the car leaped in through the gates here, and they're selling lovely cars here.
That car, well, you're capable of leaping in anywhere.
what did he go around the marathon and a half with the car?
How many cars did you own, Jimmy, in your lifetime?
At one time,
No, in your lifetime.
my
How many
life-
cars have you had?
I'd say about 8.
And which was your favourite? Or
My first one, a Nissan Micra, 86 MH617.
all right.
Nissan Micra.
And what did you like about it?
It was because of my first car. I bought it off Donald Drake, Lord of Mercy, and it was £2,000 back in 1995.
And yourself, Podgy, how many cars did you have in
I
your
drove a
time?
good many cars and leader vans.
Oh, yeah.
And there were 3 litre vans at a time, and I'll tell you one thing about the litre vans, great spring in it. Couldn't go wrong. As I say, I drove loads of cars. I get the best out of them, Nick.
Yeah.
And now I'm down to Toyota Auris, but she's getting from A to B, and I have no complaints.
Well, that's it.
Well, I had a few cars, Toyotas. My first car, it was a Toyota Corolla DX. Oh, no, a Toyota Corolla. I can even remember the reg, even though I can't repeat it now because I can't remember it. But TZW948, I think is what it was. But the car I really loved was a Laguna, Renault Laguna. I thought it was the bee's knees.
It's a stylish job.
Yeah, big long yoke or whatever. And then Rachel was driving it one day and she couldn't, it was veering towards the wall and she couldn't stop it. Now, she didn't damage it or whatever, but it was a very heavy car.
But then you came from money, like, so, like,
It's true.
Seven Jimmy,
We're still struggling.
we come from Terrace House, and
Yeah.
we know where we came from. That's
Old
the
metal
difference
single glazed
us two
windows.
and you, like.
The frost used to be on the inside of our windows.
Look at folks, we better get on with this Ramesh from the boys here. So, just a recap on the weekend before last results. Kilo Young Emmets continue to impress in Group A, where they recorded a dominant win over Mostrom. Colin delivered a strong performance to get a draw against Dromard. Granard edged out Carrick Edmond. In Group B, Rathline trashed Longford Slashers. I presume, is that too heavy? No. While Abilara secured a solid win over Mullinagh, and Clongish made a statement with a big victory over Father Manning Gales. Lads, just looking at the tables again, what do you think about the standings now after
Group A, we'll
rounds?
go through Group A. So Kilo and Colmcille level at the top, so they're playing each other the weekend, so that'll decide first and second there. And then it's a battle between Dromard, Carrickeben and Granard for 2 places out of 3. So you have to say Dromard
are qualified, actually, Jimmy.
Oh, they've qualified. Sorry, it's
Yeah,
Carrickeben and Granard that are playing for the last place. So if for Granard to qualify, they'll have to beat Mostrom and they'll have to have Dromard beat Carrickeben. So Carrickeben are probably, they'll have to get a result against Dromard.
Under pressure
there.
now, like they had 2 chances at this, and they're after blowing
it's going
one.
well, and I suppose we'll talk about the Granard game later on. But yeah, still on the play for there. There's probably,
And Podgy, Group B then, what do you make of that table?
Well, it's fairly simple at this stage. Clongish and Rathline unbeaten at the top. Both have gone through. They're playing now to see who will finish first or second at the weekend. The big game in that group is Abilara and Longford Slashers. Now, my reckoning, Abilara, bar a heavy defeat, will finish in third no matter what. Because it could come down to score difference in that group if 3 teams finish on 4. Slashers have to win, it's as simple as that. And current form, I wouldn't fancy them. But you never know. Look, there was nothing between them last year. And maybe Conor Clark will get a twist out with them and they might get that win, but it's unlikely, so if that's the case, then Mullinagh will go through in 4th place.
Right. And is that more or less in keeping with your predictions at the start of the year? Or the start of the campaign?
Well, I think it's everybody's idea. You don't have to be genius to work it out, do you?
no, I suppose Rathline will be the surprise.
Rathline will be
there.
surprised, yeah.
And maybe not in their own heads, in our heads.
Yeah, I didn't. To be honest, I thought they'd get hard to qualify. I thought Slashers were better than that.
Yeah.
And hopefully they might prove me wrong on Sunday when they play Abbey. But Rathline are unbelievable. The job that Johnson has done, Garrett, and his sidekicks, Damien Roney and Declan Flaherty. Declan was telling me he's 23 years and he managed Rathline 23 years ago.
Who did?
Declan Flaherty, he's a selector, the backup
Right.
selector, the Messiah, he's like the Messiah.
And I wonder, is there much difference between the team last year and this year? Are the same players or are the
players are the same.
They're the same.
I suppose they've kept them injury free. They've kept Jacob Cajan injury free. They've kept Shane Kenny. He suffered a bad injury last year as well.
So when you say they kept them injury free,
well, they were lucky. Not that,
just luck.
Luck.
They didn't pull them off at games or anything.
No. I suppose it's luck. But a lot of that can be to do with who's over your strength and conditioning as well, and the way they're training and the physical training that they're doing. That they're doing the right things. And they're getting recovery and everything else. It's all part of it now.
They're a merit now because they're very convincing and all that. The one game that got hard win was actually the very first one against Mullinagh. They only bet them by a couple of points. We're hanging on at the end. And I don't know what way they're going to approach the game on Sunday or on Saturday evening against Clongish, because both are through. Might be a bit of shadow boxing there. I think the winners will play Dromard, Carrickeben or Granard in a quarter final. Mightn't bother them. At this stage, it shouldn't really bother anybody, Jimmy.
No. Well,
once you get through to the last eight, Abilara did say, or David McGivney did say when he was speaking to you that once we get to the park, he says in quarter final,
different story.
Very different story.
And I presume for some position means a lot too. Like
Well,
if you're in top position, you're more than likely going to meet the lower.
Well, like if Abilara, Mullinyock or Slashers are going to meet either Kilo or Columkill, so whoever qualifies, and then you have Granard, Dramard or Carrick-Hedmond are going to play either Clongish or Rathline, so you want to avoid the top teams who are unbeaten.
You see, the teams in the tougher group are now getting at this. I won't say easier, but it's more favourable.
Yeah.
Because they came through a tough group. Because all the good ones, most of the good ones were in Group B.
Yeah.
And as it turned out, along with Slashers, you'd be expecting them to qualify. Well, now if they don't get the result of the weekend, they're fighting a relegation battle. So,
which is another big task for the four teams are down there.
Yeah, well, they'll all be fancying their chances, like, you know what I mean? Maybe we're at a level, I don't know. But
like the two top, Clongish, Rathline, Kilo and Columkill are the standout teams there without a doubt. The rest of them are struggling and playing well today, but still, they've only got 4 points. They've lost 2 games.
They lost to Rathline. Were well beaten by Rathline by 8 points.
Well, look at lads, we might just go in now in a little bit more depth into the last round matches. So, Jimmy, or indeed yourself, Podgy, whichever you was at the match, Kilo, Young Emmets and Mostram. Were you at that?
I was down in Tralee at the Rose of Tralee.
You were partying again.
Jimmy
you left the phone.
Jimmy was getting drunk down in Tralee.
And I said, before I went out to get drunk, I says I'll stick on Clubber and I'll watch Kilo and Mostram.
You're doing a lot of this looking from a distance.
Like your one, what do you call her, Nancy Griffith? Anonymous score, was it?
We like people to be in the office. None of this, working from home. What do you think, Podgy?
Well, sure, we can't be everywhere.
I was following it on Twitter while I was watching all the roses come by in the parade, So every time I'd look at a rose, another score would be for Kilo. A rose, Kilo. Danny Mimna.
How many roses are there?
There was 32, and they only got 26 points. So
were you at the match, Podgy?
That's not that one now. Patrick done that one for me.
Right, yeah.
Double jobbing.
Yeah, and tell us the report in the paper. I have it anyway, but
there was very little to write about there, because that was a foregone conclusion, really, Jimmy.
Yeah.
Edgerton are doing their best, you know what I mean? Actually, some of the Edgerton, there's some good footballers still with Edgerton.
Yeah, but it's
but you need them all.
You don't have the proper blend, and we lost too many lads, and then we lost Sheridan Hosey at the start of the year, and you can't afford to lose anybody when you're struggling for a panel of lads.
Doc was huge loss.
Doc was gone, Porrick Joyce has gone, Seamus Hannon. I've mentioned it before. Too many gone in a short space of time.
For a
team, rebuilding process now.
For a team that are struggling for the last number of years.
We've been since the county final in 21. It's been a downward spiral.
Yeah. Podgy, Columkill and Dramard had a draw.
Yeah, that was a dinger, that one, actually, because I got the impression that Columkill thought they were always going to win. You were at that one, Jimmy.
No, that was the same time as the
where were you, Jimmy?
I was in Tralee.
You're in Tralee.
Working from home, Podgy. Working from home.
I was at the Carrick. We were talking about the Carrick. Go on.
You know that you can get this little device which it keeps moving your cursor around the place, and you could be well away from it. You don't have one of those. Is it a twinkle dingler or a dingler dongler?
Yeah, dingler dongler.
Yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
So we're talking about Carrick-Edmond or Columkill and Dramard. It was the biggest crowd I think that was at the championship this year was here in Newtown, Allen Park, because there's an age-old rivalry there with Columkill and Dramard. No matter how one they be going against the other, they come out in their droves. You know what I mean? Like the bragging rights and everything attached. Jesus, it was. As I say, it wasn't totally dependent on Francie McGee and Jimmy Masson for Dramard to get a result this time. The lad midfielder, I think is Rory Corcoran, is it? Ronan Corcoran. Ronan Corcoran was midfield. One of the lesser lights, had a first game, And then you throw in Aaron Farrell and a few more like that, players of the county, and The O'Toole brothers, Oisin and Rory O'Toole, and as I say, some of the lesser lights, I think that 8 or 9 different scorers in the first half. So that's typical Dunbar because they work for each other. Their support play is excellent. Don't know if whoever they play in the quarter final, they're not an easy touch now.
Oh, geez, no, nice to be facing
You know, there's the one team that if you had a choice and you try to avoid them if you could. In the
Well, it's
last,
more likely going to be Clongrish or Recline.
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens with the reclining. They'll know. Will they know the result?
No, they won't know because they're playing Friday night.
Oh, they're playing Friday night. They won't know
They'll know
because
Saturday.
if you know, then it'd be interesting to see what the approach would
That's
be.
probably
Then.
why they line them out that way, so they wouldn't.
Yeah, there'd be no advantage as such, like you know.
Yeah,
But no, I was Column Kill still. They're definitely contenders, like you know. And a lot of their lads back there, and I think actually I was talking to is it Enda Mackin on the hill? He opened a new cafe there in Jack Panley, and he said you coming back? No, he says no. He's a big loss because they need a full back, and he's a commanding full back, play with the county as well. So until they get their top 15 out on that pitch, we won't really know. And only have this weekend to kind of sort it. Then because however, if one of them has to play a Billara, no, that's not easy.
No,
You know what I mean? I think that's the
champions at the end of the day.
yeah, and horrible well drilled Abilara. You know, I was at that game on Sunday with Abilara and Mulnachta, and I have to say that Abilara and Neriola in control here. You know, there's a lot of young lads getting their chance with Abbey too, but pitch was fantastic.
There are very few pitches in the county that are not almost, you could say, top grade.
Yeah, even the club grounds generally in Longford
Yeah.
are very high standard, but the new pitch to put down, it's unbelievable. It's a credit to the people of Jamar. They're a great community because they stick together and they work hard for each
But
other.
that pitch now was Allen Park, you know.
No, but I'm moving on to Abbey Lara and Mullinachta.
right, yes.
Just comparing who Abbey could end up playing, whether it be Clough or Column Kill.
Yeah.
See, Jamar are through as well now, Mick. So there's nothing they can do. I think they're going to end up third or could be fourth. If Carrigammon win, Jamar finishes fourth. And that changes the dynamic of the draw again. You know, so it's a...
That's a big, huge game, yeah.
Well, look at lads, when we stick with Group A and Carrigammon and St Mary's. Now, that was a bit of a surprise.
I did the commentary on that one on Friday night, and Carrigammon were well ahead. They were 4 points up at half time, going very well. Aidan Maguire was having a field day again. But what Granner did and what Paul Lynch did it in the second half was what he brought on Paul Smith and put Paul Smith, young Aaron, I can't think of his son, cornerback for Granner was Mark and Aidan Maguire. He was having a nightmare.
Smith as well.
Smith was, yeah. But it wasn't his fault he was having a nightmare because Aidan Maguire is impossible to mark. But Lynch put Paul Smith sitting in front of him in the second half and cut out the supply to Aidan Maguire altogether. And it's a wonder nobody did that in the previous games, you know, because Aidan had a world of space in front of him and it worked a treat. And then Mark Tully had a huge influence. He was back to his best and he got an awful lot of space. And Derek
he got a lot of space,
huge,
that's right.
Keller had a huge second half.
Second half, like at half time, you'd say Sil was at that and he left at half time. He was taking Carrigammon were going to win the match.
But that's the way it looked.
And then it changed around.
Was that one change to put somebody just in front of Maguire to stop that supply of ball into him, and it worked. But then Carrigammon were off the back of a 5-day turnaround since they played Master on a Sunday evening, and they seemed to get tired. You know, there was a lot of big hits going in, a couple of big hits went in and on McCormick there as well, you know.
And would a day or two make a difference?
It would, like, you know, 5 days is very little time when you're playing championship football. It is, and it's working all week, and a Friday evening trying to get back. It just seemed that they were that tired, but taking nothing away from Granard, and I've been talking about Granard all year, they at last played the way they can. They played to their potential, you know. And I was talking to Joanna Scanlon, she said thanks for the mention of the last day. She appreciated I'd call it pure.
Well,
no, but it was a great win, and Granard had to win, or they were gone. So they won, and they're still in my chance.
Well, we go to Group B, lads. Longford Slashers and Rathline. Paji, your home team.
No, I didn't do that one, but I'm glad I wasn't there when I seen the scoreline.
I watched it.
And 118 to 6 points. It's for a Klein, no disrespect to a Klein, but like in recent years we'd always be able to get a Klein, and now the thing is turned full circle.
I couldn't get over it when I was watching it. The lack of energy, the lack of intensity from Slashers. It just seemed like they went out with no confidence at all, that they didn't believe that they could even put it up against them. Like, it was a very, very poor performance from Slashers. Surprisingly poor, because I'd seen them against Molineux putting in a big battle and a big fight. Rathline were very good.
Yeah.
But Slashers were very poor.
Well, maybe Slashers knew they had 2 chances too, like, you know what I mean?
Why leave it till the last?
And Abbey Lara.
Yeah.
You know, I mean.
Yeah, look, I have no explanation, but I just thought it was a very disappointing performance for them. They just seemed to.
All will be forgiven if they can beat Abbey, of course. Yes, they'll be in the quarter final and they'll be out of the relegation pot. But further progress probably unlikely. But it's supposed to be an achievement now at this late stage to get through.
You can avoid that relegation mess. Like,
yeah.
The last thing you want is 3 more matches going around in a relegation match.
And some of them won't even matter because if some of the, like Edgerton or Fannmagins, lose heavily in the first round.
Who wants to go into that? Who came up with this 3-game round robin?
They reckon they can get the best 2 out of 4 out of a. It's not a league that people generally will have no interest in, bar the clubs. The crowds will be.
The players will have no interest in playing 3 matches. 3 more matches.
Like
and all the while, the main business is going on.
Yeah, you're out of the championship, and here you are playing relegation playoff. Basically, going through it all over again. You know.
No,
but as I say, 2 will go down, and the favourites would be Fannmagins and Edgerton. But stranger things have been known to happen. One bad performance, and one of them outsiders could win. And then you have, what happens if Slashers are relegated? What happens if whoever was 5th in the other group? Slashers will go on intermediate.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the fear for big clubs like with big histories. Some of them are going to the intermediate next year.
And then they're looking to get them down, but they get the weakest ones down. But Slashers will be in the intermediate championship, and sure, they come straight back up again.
Well, you'd imagine they should.
You know what I mean? Like,
but it doesn't always happen. There's teams there who went down and didn't come back up.
I remember Granard being in it 1 year, and actually they obviously had to win it.
Yeah.
They were they were full intermediate.
Keena didn't come back up. Ballymahon didn't come back up.
Yeah.
In the recent years, you know, it's not that easy to bounce back.
The second match there, lads, Abbey Lara and Money Reactor. Abbey Lara.
Abbey Lara played well. Yeah, you know what I mean? Robbie was playing now. Robbie was back. Robbie Smith. But Robbie carrying a bit of an injury at the moment. But it's hard to believe that he scored 18 points and Robbie didn't score. You know, like, it just shows you the way they have progressed.
Yeah.
You know, that they're not totally dependent on Robbie. A young Gilligan lad there, and he's good gossing, a great driving him. You know,
Caelan Lynch was a good lad.
Caelan Lynch was very good the last day now, and then they're missing the likes of Aidan Scanlon, who I think might be an American. Now, if he comes back into the picture, which he probably will, and they're back to full strength, then if you beat Abbey Lara, it'll be by a very slender margin. You see, Frankie Dolan has a great job done.
Well, that's it. Like he gets into the park. He'll have a plan.
Yeah, into the park is the big thing now, Mick, because you see, this is a thing that is with Rathline now. Getting into the park, to say that Rathline gets into the park, they don't deliver.
Well, this is the year.
Tell us, lads, after these nearly opening rounds of matches, the quarterfinals and all that, they're all in Pierce Park.
This is the last of the regional now.
Right.
And just on that, and I mentioned earlier in a piece about Tremard, and a very welcome cup of tea and sandwich and the whole lot. But Danny Toole was there. Danny's the bagman for maybe people don't like the bagman. Well, he's the bagman for the County, and he's the bagman for Tamar, and he's the bagman for the Tamar ladies. You know.
A lot of bags in his house.
But Danny is a great house soldier, and his heart is in it, and very proud Tamar man. There'll be nephews of him, the two tools, Rory and Oisin. And so we call Danny by his popper. He's a kit man.
Kit.
A nearly professional kit man at this
Does he have a
stage.
kit van?
He has a kit van at the county. You know what I mean? Like,
It's official, so.
so he's not a bag man now. No.
Last season we did a small piece on Danny, and you could see, I used to see him there in the changing rooms, putting all the gear up and all that, and you could see that he took a huge amount of pride in doing the job. And there's a nice little piece there if you look back on it, Danny doing his bits and pieces or whatever, you know. And finally, lads, in that group B, Ballymena Gales and Clongish.
So sure, look, it was very, very one-sided altogether, you know. And the Clongish rested their two minors there, young Hagan and young Flynn.
I think the rest of all the minors.
All the minors,
Yeah.
any of them. And, Adrian Flynn was back there. He was played well, but I think Jack Duggan scored. Was it 3-7?
3-7 Jack Duggan.
He was very forceful going forward.
Well, he is.
He was like a knife through butter.
If you give him, if he gets the ball and he goes on a run, he takes a lot of stopping.
Yeah, but again, Ballymena Gales are, you know, their low ebb and confidence is low, similar with Mostram, you know. And it's hard to come up against a running team like them that are coming at you at pace.
Yeah.
You know, and with the new rules as well, that you can't drag everybody back to try and stop that.
know,
You
yeah.
know, they have to just sit there and watch this happening, and it's demoralising for them. And to try and pick themselves up now, you know, and Mullinyock that are playing, you know, geez, it could be another. No, but Clongish are looking very well, scoring heavy. You know, they've 114 points, we'll say, scored in 4 matches, which is huge.
That particular score really moved everything in their advantage in terms of score difference, didn't it?
So a 51-point score
Yeah,
difference,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
which is huge. You know, although Rathline have only conceded 47 points, so they're the meanest defence in the whole championship, you know, as well as scoring.
They conceded a goal at line.
No, you got me there whether they did or not. I'm not 100%. You can't remember. But not too many of them if they did any of them.
No.
But I remember Robbie Lara the whole last year went without scoring a goal to the county final. Yeah, but Rathline haven't conceded too many. But Mulvihill's a very good goalie too.
Catches them under the crossbar.
Huge man.
You know what I mean? He stops points. Like.
Yeah, but him coming out with you, power coming out like, he's very good.
They're Oran Kenny is some operator.
Yeah, they're good. And Keane Gilmore is doing very well.
Keane Gilmore, and your man mentioned him in the last programme, Shane Ryan.
Oh, Shane, yeah.
Yeah, Shane Ryan. Like, he typifies all what Rathline are doing this year. Fellas have improved nearly beyond recognition.
Yeah, they're
And
you'd like to see them doing well now and maybe getting to a semi-final and maybe further.
they can't get over this quarter-final hump. So, as I say, we can talk about that when the time comes when we know who's in it, but who's playing who. But this is a great opportunity for them.
Well, it is, yeah. They're going the right way.
That's the hurling has started, and so last weekend I know Jimmy, you were at your son was playing in a competition, but you got to the match late.
Yeah, it was in about 15 minutes, and I think it was over the contest. Yeah, Sean Brown, what's the score? I think it was 2-9 to 4 points.
This is Clongish and
Clongish and Slashers, yeah. And none of the footballers were playing for Clongish. Joe O'Brien is out injured, Jerry Moore is out injured, Oisin Gately is out injured. You know, the likes of Matthew Flynn didn't play. So, you know, they did well to field, in fairness, to Clongish, you know. And I see Brian Brady was back, where he probably hasn't played a hurling match in a long time. You know, Paul Barden was back from injury. You know, again, getting on in years. No offence, Paul, but, you know, so it was one-sided, and Slashers looked really good. Apart from Clongish, you know, not having players, Slashers played very well. They're playing a lovely brand of hurling. You know, Robbie Stakelin managing them there this year. You know, lovely mix of you know, Johnny Casey is flying in the middle of the field. Like, and he's I know how age Johnny is. He must be 35 or 6, but he's flying. And then you had Sean Tiernan scored 3-11 or 3-9.
3-9, yeah.
You know, they're 4-25.
First for the footballers as well, Sean. You know, so.
But there's no weak play, and the young players that they're playing, the young Hawes as well, flying. you know, that lovely blend. Carl Murray came back from injury as well, gave Dara Regan a rest, you know, so Slashers are looking good, and I can't see them, you know, Mostrom have to play, Wolf ones have to play Clongish in effectively what's a semi-final now in 2 weeks' time, and the winners will go on to play Slashers, but based on what we've seen so far, it's Slashers all the way, and easily all the way.
Bad record in the finals, Jimmy, haven't they?
They've lost 5 out of the last 6. This will be their 7th final in a row, and they've only won 1. 2000, was it 3 years ago? Yeah. We won it last year, Clongish, they won 3 years ago, 2022 I think it was. You know, whereas, and before that they hadn't won a final in 19 years or something, or 20 years, so when they get there, but I'd say, Nahoney, they could give the Leinster Junior a bash this year.
Is it a special competition?
Yeah, I think it's back to the special again this year.
So it's not.
You'd be playing.
Teams in your own level.
Yeah. Intermediate.
Oh, that's good, because there's no point. Some of them teams that come in, the Kilkenny Junior Champions and the Wexford Junior Champions.
Yeah, they just
no
win.
chance.
They're nailed on every year.
You know what I mean? So that makes sense.
There was a special junior a number of years ago. We got to a final, and Clara from Offaly beat us in the final over in Tubber.
Were you playing that day, Jimmy?
No, I wasn't. I was finished at that stage. There was a big melee, and there was 5 lads sent off that day. And the following year, I don't know, there was 2 other clubs in the special junior, and I think there was 3 or 4. So they said, enough of the special junior, these boys are only big, want to beat each other. So they got rid of it, and now it's back.
That's a standalone competition, is it?
Yeah.
It's a Leinster competition.
Yeah.
So somebody.
Very good. Lads, just another bow to the GA string, or another string to the GA bow. Handball. Have you ever played it?
Never played it, but there's 2 young lads now, Thomas Finn and Adam Finn from our club, and they're absolutely, they've won all Ireland's like I did. You know what? Thomas is 17, Adam is 15, I think. They're brilliant now. The lads they're 6 foot something, both of them.
Where do they play?
They play in Abilara. Yeah, they have a wall ball now. It's the one wall they play a lot.
Right.
Where it's just like.
So they don't use the side walls.
No,
certainly some interesting stuff there, and according to the lads there anyway, it's the fastest growing sport at the moment in Ireland.
Yeah. And Sir Paul Brady, there was Mullahorn, wasn't he, Brady?
Yeah.
He won several All-Irelands, so he came back last year and won it again at the age of, I can't think, and there's a Heffernan guy from Westmeath that won All-Irelands as well, and world titles as well.
Yeah, so, and even in terms of infrastructure, like, I mean, I taught in Granard for years, you know, and I remember 10 years ago hearing these reports about the Priest, and they were getting together to build this state-of-the-art handball alley. And you know, only about a few years ago did I actually go and visit it and see it, and it's just a tremendous facility. Out, as they say, in a small rural village in the middle of Longford, or North Longford. Like, it's unbelievable, the quality, and signs on it. Croke Park moved All-Ireland finals are there because of the Oasis concert.
To Abilara.
And Jenny and her team there did an excellent job.
I suppose you got to roll with it, you know. I suppose.
Absolutely, yeah. Although she was saying they had, you know,
that one.
They had. They had the Abilara symbol was on the wall apparently, and it was very warm that weekend, and all the stuff came off. It took them 2.5 hours to sort it, so they were very frustrated over that. But look that's the way.
There's a handball alley in Legan as well, just outside the village there. Lovely handball alley. And they put up all balls in Edgerton, the community centre as well, and they have them in Clongish. So it's building all the time. Yeah.
Do you remember the one in Mel's?
Yeah, out the back. Yeah, the ball alley. Yeah. There was an awful lot more than handball went on in the ball alley in Mel's.
How do you know, Jimmy?
Rumour is, I wasn't allowed in.
Jimmy, you're seeing it almost from the point of view of first person type of a statement. What do you think, Padgy?
Father
Get your ringside seat.
Father Garvey was president when I was there, so there would have been no messing going on when Father
Garvey was there. A lot of Barneys there at the handball alley.
reaching the handball alley.
I've seen many an old fight in it there now. Against the odds, some of the boys, one of your fencing was bet. And we just crowd around and we'd be there and Asher.
I'm going to have to call a halt to this. A WFC. Is it WFC? We're not promoting that. So, lads, the intermediate and the junior championships, you might say a few words on those.
Yeah, well, the intermediate is coming down to the last game in the league. It's a very quick, they've only 3 games to try and sort it out. And, this weekend you have in Group A, you have Connolly's are playing Arda. That's a huge game.
It is.
Winner takes it all.
Winner takes it all.
You know.
Arda might do have to win.
Have to win.
Yeah.
And if they win, then knock Connolly's out.
More or less.
More or less, because Killashy would be favourites to beat Dungratans.
You know.
So it's a very. I was in Ballymahan last night talking to one of the guys, and they're saying like if they lose as well, they're bandjacks.
Oh, Ballymahan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ballymahan have to beat Ballymore.
Yeah, and Ballymore are going very well.
Yeah.
So your season is over within a month.
You're in the relegation, and as playing relegations, as you says.
Yeah.
You know, how do you get fired up for relegation?
No, you
I
can't.
know you try to hold your status, but you're out of the championship. And the championship is still going on around you.
That's the thing. It's a crazy situation.
You know, so as I say, maybe there's a better way, I don't know.
I think last year's way was better in the senior anyway, where there was 2 semi-finals and a final. And if you lost the 2 of them, you were gone.
Yeah, but they're trying to get 2 down, aren't they?
I know, yeah.
And tell us, lads, the junior.
Well, that's the other one there, Ballymore. Yeah, that's the.
Yeah, just on that intermediate championship, fair play to Ballymore. Like they'd be never really got much credit for what they achieved. Small little area there up just outside of Granard, you know it, Mick. And a fantastic clubhouse and everything else. But they're after beating Cashel, and they're after beating
Cashel and the Keena.
And the Keena. So they're more or less through. There's a 3-way playoff and suffer a heavy defeat in their last match. So a great achievement. I think Lawrence Brady is training them now.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I think Lawrence Brady would be
Gone.
I think he could have played with Cavan, him and his brother. They trained him. Kieran. Are they brothers?
I think I thought him. I'm not sure now.
Yeah.
Them Cavan boys coming down managing now for clubs, isn't there? You know, Jimmy Higgins and Hello.
Paul Lynch there. Paul Lynch.
Cadden in Mullinyacht as
Yeah,
well.
Cadden, yeah. I don't think he's from Anna, Jimmy.
Oh, is he from Madden?
They all sound the same, don't they?
They're all.
They're about to close up here, and we better try and finish off here. The match is going forward at the weekend.
The junior there is.
Oh yeah, sorry,
yeah.
So the junior then, lads.
Well, you have Kilo and Clongish on 6, Legan are on 4, Carrickeben on 2, and Columkill and Slashers are on none. So the games this weekend is Young Grattan's play Kilo, Connolly's play Ballymahan, and Columkill or Clongish play Ballymahan, and Columkill play Carrickeben. So big games there. Well, it looks like Kilo and Clongish are going to come on top there.
Yeah, and Legan are playing Kilo. That's Legan, is it, Jimmy?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, Legan are playing Kilo. Kilo's second string very strong. You fancy Kilo on that one. The other one then is
it's Clongish and I've got it wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, if I was to say 4, I'd say Kilo, Clongish, Legan, and Carrickeben in the last spot.
Yes.
So, lads, in terms of the senior championship fixtures, the matches which are going to be the best matches in terms of viewing, but also the ones that are going to be, needing results and all that. So, what are the big games?
I suppose Friday night, I'll just take the 2 on Friday night. So they're the 2 that are going to decide Group A. They're going to decide who's going to stay up or go into relegation. So Granard to play Mostram, you'd fancy Granard to win that. Dromard and Carrickeben, that's going to be a crucial game there. Hard to call it. It's very hard to call that one. Maybe Dromard, just they're a little bit better form coming into it.
And Saturday then, Pochie?
Very hard to predict what's going to happen Saturday because all these teams are through, like Killovey, Columkill. I'm going to go for Kilo there, and for their experience and the fact that they're getting everybody back now. I wouldn't be surprised to see Michael Quinn making an appearance. He hasn't so far. And Clongish and Rathline. I'd go for Clongish there now. Probably generally overall greater scoring power.
Yeah, and then Sunday night then you have the 2 that'll decide Group B and decide the final placings on that. So Mullinyacht, if had many gears, I suppose one-sided there. Mullinyacht will probably win that one.
Abbey and Slashers is a big one there, isn't it?
That's a huge one, yeah, for both of them. Slashers have to win it.
Yeah, well, Abbey are more or less true, I think, but Slashers have to win, or else.
Very good.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, lads, thanks very much for
bother
being
at
with
all.
us here today. We're looking forward, or we have a few plans ahead for the closing matches in the championship. More about that later. But thanks, Jimmy, and thanks,
Thank
Podgy,
you.
for joining us.
Aye.
And until the next time, as a good friend of mine, Brendan Riley, once said, and he said it more than once actually, what did he say?
Mind you or something.
No. He said, yeah, mind yourself. But before that, he says, do us a favour. He says, mind yourselves. What do you think, Podgy?
Look, just carry on.
Good luck.
Great.
Oh.
Watch yourselves there now.